Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. Today I'm going to be continuing to work on the 78 Mustang. I got my transmission filter kit. This one has a rubber gasket, that's nice. The filter looks like the correct one. Yep, sure does. Let me open that up. Okay, looks good, looks good. Now the one I took out had this steel shim gasket on it. I've never seen one of these on a filter. But it's quite possible that this is the factory part and this has never been a part. I haven't seen any evidence that it's been a part. It's got 91,000 original miles on it, so it's possible that it is all original. I'll throw this stuff here away. What I need to do now is scrape the gasket off of there. Fun, fun, fun. Well, that gasket came off a lot easier than I thought it would. Pan is very thick. I know I should put a drain plug in it, but I'm going to live dangerous and not do it. The reason is this pan is nice and small, and it came off pretty easy, and you can take all the bolts out except for the front part, and then just kind of tilt the pan and let the fluid run out. It wasn't that hard to drain, so I'm not going to put drain plug in it, but I am going to put a magnet in there. I've got these super strong magnets here. They have little plastic inserts in between them, because without those inserts, once these stick to each other, you really can't get them apart easy. So it's hard enough getting them off each other with that plastic thing in there, but that's going to go in there just for fun. And I'm going to take some, whatchamacallit, gasket goo and put it on that gasket. I'm not going to RTV silicone it together because it never come apart again. But I got the Aviation Permatex. It's sticky, but it never dries hard. It seals well, but it's something that you can take apart later. Good stuff. They use it on airplanes. In fact, I'll go get it and show it to you. Okay, this is the stuff I like to use. This 16-ounce container is a lot. I mean, I've had this for years, and you know, it just stays sticky, and that's going to last me a long time. So I'm going to use this, coat both sides of that rubber gasket, and I got to clean off the transmission valve body area and put that filter on. That's right, I got to do that first. So let's crawl under the car and install that filter. Okay, the filter is held on with 9 bolts. It's got, I crawl under here. It's got 8 smaller ones, and one of the end one is a bigger bolt. I think it's got that one right there where near the dipstick. because that one had a 10mm head and these others had a 8mm. So I decide I am going to put the steel shim gasket back in there. It's there for a reason. I don't know what the reason is, but it's going back in there. Let me grab some tools and get going. I did that pretty quick. Now I'm going to put the pan on. I already glued up the gasket and set it on the pan, and the rubber gasket will hold all the bolts, so that's convenient. Now I just need to hold it up there and get the bolts going. All right, time-lapse time. Got the pan on, nice and snug. I measured the fluid that came out, and it was about a gallon. So I'm putting a gallon of fluid back in the dipstick tube. I already did that. In fact, I already started it up, put it in gear, checked the fluid. We're good. Next up is brakes. And I failed to turn the camera on when I was starting this, but this side brakes did not work at all. It's up on jack stands and I put it in gear and this was spinning around, hit the brake, kept spinning. So I put it neutral, let it spin, hit the brake, and it just spun to a stop. So that wheel cylinder just isn't working. Now on the right side, that one worked. So I ordered 2 wheel cylinders. They're not going to be in until tomorrow morning. But this side was working. Right now I'm taking the front all apart to put in new rotors and new pads. Because these are, that one's getting thin and that one's real thin. In fact, it looks like it's almost hitting the rivet over there. See a couple swipe marks on it. And the rotor was chewed up. But I got new rotors and I got new pads. So we're gonna be in good shape here soon for the front. Let's check the side out. Yeah, it doesn't look like it was quite hitting the rivet. It's getting close. You see they're scored up. It was definitely time for brakes. So I'm gonna time lapse you as I clean up the bearings. I'm gonna re-grease them, put things together. Okay, they're all cleaned up. Then I took a can of starting fluid and cleaned them out even more, so they're spotless now. I have two different kinds of bearing packers. I got this one. It's 2 discs. You put the bearing inside of there, squeeze it down, and just use a grease gun on the nipple to pack the bearings. I've used this thing for decades. It works good. You gotta make sure you have grease in the bearing, in the grease gun that's for wheel bearings. This is a wheel bearing packer, a different kind. I saw somebody on YouTube with this style a while back and figured I had to have one. But you just drop the bearing in there like that, and you take this cone-shaped top, put it in there, and you just push down, and it forces this white part down into the grease, and the grease comes up and packs the bearing. It's hard to push, but it does a good job. I just kind of rock it back and forth as I push. Makes it go down a little better. Forces the grease up. And I got the red sticky tacky bearing grease, and it's tough to push. Okay, but you push it until it comes out the top. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on this or not. Maybe if I do it this way. You can see the grease starting to come through. You want to get it up in between all the bearings, all of those rollers. Okay. Should be able to see that, but it's up in there now. So, I'm going to take a little bit of this, put it on the outside. That one is packed. Next one. And in there, push this down, yada, yada, yada. We're getting there. Okay, we're getting grease coming out top. The problem with this is my workbench is high and I can't push hard. So I'm going to set this on the floor. Let me get something for my nice gooey hands here. I'll be able to push on it harder. Yeah, that works a lot better. All right. You should be able to see it's oozing out of the top of the bearing. So all those rollers have grease around them. So I'm just going to slop this grease in here all over the outside. And I'm going to take a rotor. Should have had the rotor up here before I got my hands full of grease. I'm going to go grab that now. I got to clean it off anyways. Let me take a little starting fluid here. Big towel. That's good enough. Grease down in here. Okay. Drop bearing in. And there's a grease seal that goes on there. You take a hammer and pound that on. Of course, I don't have a hammer handy. So, as usual, I'm not totally prepared for this. So I'm going to stop the video right here, and I'll bring you back when I get things put on the car. I have all the bearings packed, rotors and brakes installed on both sides of the car. And that's going to be the end of this episode of me working on the 78 Mustang 2 transmission filter and front brakes, and a way to pack the front bearings and do things. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. This is just the way I chose to do it. Thanks for watching this episode of Dan's Messy Garage, and stay tuned for more episodes in the future. Bye.